Hello, Floss Tube. My name is Kara Lee, and this is my channel, Stitching is Elementary. This is my first YouTube video, first Floss Tube video. So I thought I would do the needleworker tab to introduce myself a little bit. So the first question is, where do you live? I live in Marietta, Georgia. It's really hot here right now, but I love it here. It's beautiful. What do you do for a living? I am an elementary school teacher, hence the name of my channel, Stitching is Elementary. I teach first grade. I've taught first grade for about 4 years, but I've taught for almost 20 years. Do you have any children? Yes, I have 4 grown children. 3 are my own, and one is a boy that came to live with us when he came to this country and needed a place to live. He came here to play basketball when he was in high school, and he came to the school I taught at and where all my kids attended. And so he needed a place to live, and he came to live with us, and he has ever since. Now he's graduated college and married and living down in Houston. So anyway, yeah. So I have 4 kids. They're all grown. My youngest is at the University of Georgia, and she is going to be a senior this year. So I have 2 girls and 2 boys. Do you have any pets? Yes, and they've been very quiet, which I'm really surprised. So if I have to stop the video here, you'll hear crazy barking, and then I'll stop the video and restart it because they are really nuts, but they're being very sweet right now. I also have 2 goldfish, so 2 dogs, 2 goldfish, and my oldest daughter who lives with us has a dog and a cat also, and a bearded dragon. So it's kind of like a zoo around here sometimes. What are your other hobbies? Do you have any other hobbies besides stitching? Yes, I quilt. I've been quilting for over 20 years. My son is 25, and I started taking my first quilt class I took when he was 2. So it's been a long, long time. And that's why I love cross stitching, because it's a nice hobby to have with quilting. Because when I'm too tired of sitting at my sewing machine or sitting at my cutting table, I can sit down, watch TV, and cross stitch, or I can cross stitch in the car. It's hard to do much quilting in the car. So that's really nice. All right, what is your favorite movie? My favorite movie, I think, would have to be Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version with Keira Knightley. I also love all the Harry Potter movies. I love all the Harry Potter books. So yeah, those would probably be my favorites. What is your favorite TV show? This is much easier. West Wing. Probably nobody's ever heard of it. It was on in the 90s, and I love it. I watch it on Netflix all the time. I don't know how many times I've rewatched it. So many times. So if you haven't tried West Wing, go to Netflix and try it. If you like political drama, it's really, really, really good. What is your favorite book? Well, like I said, I always like the Harry Potter novels. But I also, my favorite genre of books is Regency romance, which are just not at all intelligent, but they're just fun. And I don't really like to read nonfiction. I really like to read fiction as just like a way to relax, just take a break from reality. So anyway, yes, I love romance novels. I like mystery novels as well. What is your favorite music? I really like all types of music. I especially love show tunes, Broadway show tunes. So when I'm at home on Pandora and that's what I listen to a lot is show tunes. I also love Celtic music when I need something kind of relaxing. So, and what word best describes you? I have no idea. I am not an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So I don't know. Shy, I guess. I've always been kind of shy. So this is hard, and this is a challenge for me to do this video, but I've kind of wanted to do it for a while, and I can't seem to get out of my head. So there we go. Okay, so that's enough about me. I wrote down notes here because I tried this once without notes, and it did not go well. Okay, so I think normally what I'll do is kind of what everybody else does. I'll show you finishes and whips and haul and all of that. Bug flying around. But for today, I thought I'd go through, since it's my first video, and I haven't, actually, I didn't tell you, I haven't been cross-stitching for long. I only started last October. And so I have way too much, considering that's how long I've been stitching, but I don't have that much. So I have this cross-stitch planner from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I've written everything in here, and I just thought I'd kind of go through and show. So I'll be showing you works in progress as well as finished objects in all different degrees as I go through this. So the first one I started back in October. Because I quilt, I had watched Fat Quarter Shop a lot and ordered from them a lot. And Kimberly was making this Jardin Priv Patrick Halloween. So that was the first one I started. It was by no means my first finish, but it is finished now. I actually just finished it right during Mania this year. So that's really, really cute. I'm trying to think if I have the pattern here. Hold on a sec. Apparently I do not. So I can show you next time, but it's Jardin Priv Patchwork Halloween. And I changed the colors a little. This is showing up better on screen, but I can never figure out how to do this. This crossbones and white really didn't show up very well. So I went to grays, which also on this fabric didn't show up very well. But anyway, it's good enough. I'm going to make a pillow out of it. But it was really fun because it was just fun finishing all these little motifs. So it went kind of quick. And this was super easy. It's 14 count Aida. So it was very easy to see. So I was going to finish it with these fabrics, I think, into a pillow. I really love the black check. So anyway, that was my first one. Okay, let's see. My second one was the Christmas House Trio. And I only actually did one because I had started on Aida, right? So then I started watching Stitching with the Housewives, and they were stitching on this Monaco. So I thought, well, let me try that. And ooh, I don't have the best eyes. So this was hard, especially since I hadn't done very much. So there's a lot of mistakes in this one. You can see this tree doesn't have the space it should have. It's too close to the house. So anyway, I'm going to make this into a little pillow, and then I'm going to redo these so they're all better. So anyway, so that was my second thing that I did. And when I was doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, cross stitch takes forever. I don't know why I thought it was going to be quicker than quilting. But at least me, I don't know if I stitch really slow or what, but it was taking a long, long time. So anyway, but I did finish it like right before Christmas. But then I left it like this because I made that mistake and I was like, I don't like it. So anyhow, that was my second thing I ever did. My third was all bundled up. It's like a snowman-y one. So I finished the Christmas house tree right after Christmas. So I kind of wanted to do this. So all bundled up by Brenda Gervais, which I love Brenda Gervais. There we go. So cute. So I worked on this till when I started working on Easter in the spring, and then I stopped. So I don't remember how much I've done. Not that much, but I'm trying to remember. Okay, there's the top. Okay, so this is kind of, it's all really wrinkled because it's been folded up forever, but I just basically have those flowers and some leaves done, and I'm starting his hat right over here. And this was just 18 count Aida. I dyed myself, which now looking on screen, it came out really brown in places, but yeah. So I dyed that myself. I would love to stitch on like 40 count linen. I would really love that. I have tried. I cannot see it. So I like 18 and 16 on Aida because it's really little, and I can see it though. There's something about the going over 2. I really struggle with going over 2. So over 1, I like a whole lot better. I don't know why. I don't even know if it's the seeing it or if it's the going over 2 or what, but I really, really struggle with that. So these are the threads. Most of my threads I have on rings now, but these I haven't been back into for quite some time, so they are a mess. But these are all the colors that I'm using for all bundled up. You can't really even see very well, but there you go. Let's get better at that. Yeah, so all bundled up. So probably we'll get back to that. I should start trying to do it like once a week or so here, but probably come the fall. So that is that one. Let's see what's next. Bless Our Home. So this one was a finish. I'm not thrilled with it. I'd kind of like to change it. I wasn't sure whether to frame it or what to do, so I put it on sticky board and I put fabric on the backing that came with the frame. And so that I'm thinking it needs something up here. I don't know, something else on it. And I broke the backing part of the frame, so I take cardboard in there. So now I've gotten picture frame backing, so I'm going to try to make it better because it kind of moves around. But I was really happy on this one because I should have grabbed the patterns for these. I thought I did. But so on this pattern, it just comes with one dog. And I have two dogs, they're sisters, and they're little beagle hound mixes. And one is chocolate brown like this. She looks like a little chocolate lab. And one is kind of coffee colored like this. So I put them both in there. So I was excited. I just took the chart and I turned it around and put it up to a window. And that's how I was able to do the other one. And they both have the same certain color collars they wear. So I put that on it. So I thought that came out really cute, the stitching part of that. This is just a frame I got from Walmart, I think. So I may fix that up better eventually, but it's good enough for now. Okay, so that was by Country Cottage Needleworks. And in my next video, I'll have all the patterns to show. I don't know why I don't have them all. So the next one I did was around, you'll see, I always like to stitch with the holidays, but I never finish in time. But it was Quilty Love by Lori Holt. Yeah, I was really bad about having the pattern. So this is my Quilty Love, and I did it on a Aqua Sparkle fabric, Aida, 14 count Aida. In fact, yeah, I think I might have dyed this one myself. I think it might have been white sparkle. But yeah, so that came out cute. And I'm thinking about using this fabric somehow to finish it. But I don't know, we'll see. So that's Quilty Love by Lori Holt. And then we got into spring. And so this one I have a finish, but of course I don't have the pattern. It's Springtime Messenger by Brenda Gervais. It's just a little one. So it's this little bird, and you see there's like some of the alphabet here. And she showed it with this finish with the buttons on it. So I got this little piece at Hobby Lobby. It's just a like a picture stand, and it had some kind of a design on it. So I painted over it a couple times. Sorry, I'm on screen. I painted over it, and then this is some of my quilt fabric that I cut and I stiffened it with fabric stiffener, or with starch, actually, just a lot of starch. And then I just kind of made it into a bow. You can tell I have trouble how to point in the camera. And I put a little button in the middle. So yeah, so that's stretched out there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so I thought that came out really cute. I put a plaid fabric on the mat back here, and I just did it with, hot glue, and hot glued it on. So it's not the best, there's mistakes, but I was happy with it. It sits on my mantle. So Springtime Messenger. And then I started around Easter too, Hands-on Design and Priscilla Blaine Hip Hop Chock Full, and I would love to do all these, but I struggled with this one, and I'm guessing it was because of the dark fabric. But there's just so many little things. I don't know, maybe I was too new for this, but I had just a little bit of a hard time. So I got a lot of the bunnies done, and then Easter was already like over by that time. So I'll get back to that one. But I think they're all so cute. I love these. I just need to get better at it, apparently. That one was in a glare there. Okay. So anyway, so hip hop. Well, I can show you. It is in here. It's a 14 count black. And I mean, I can see it. I was more the design I think I was struggling with, but this is what I got done. So I have a bunch of the bunnies done. I think one whole bunny I had to pull out and redo. I kept counting wrong for whatever reason, but it's so cute. I love those bunnies. So to get back to that one, I would love to do them all and have them in my kitchen. I think it'd be cute. Okay. So then I did Suffrage Act next. And I'm trying to remember if this is Little House Needleworks. Once again, I don't have the pattern. I'll have it for next time. I really enjoyed this one. There's a couple mistakes, but not too many. I want to get this one actually professionally framed, I think. So I finally just found somewhere that's close to me. So then we were all, sheltering at home. So they're open again, and I need to get back in there sometime. But I was really happy with how that came out. So cute. And I have it right here, Little House Needleworks, number 177. And I did it on 16 count tea-dyed Aida that I tea-dyed myself. Yeah. And I think I used all the called for colors. I think so. Okay. Okay, then I well, it's not quite Mania yet, but this I started right before Mania, but I hardly did anything on. I am a Halloween nut. I love Halloween stuff, so I have way too much Halloween stuff started. For Halloween, for quilts, I have so many Halloween quilts. Really any Christmas, I need to work on Christmas quilts. But I started this Roveris. It's Witches or Salem 1692 by Roveris. Gable Stitcher, I had seen on Instagram, has no, actually on her video I watched it, and whenever I watch her, I like always have to go buy something right away. But she had started this, and I bought it before the video was over. I have a thing for witches and Halloween. I love decorating with them, and I mean, not real scary, but kind of cute ones. But so I just love this. So you think I would have done more, but no, this is what I have done so far. This is a piece of Picture This Plus Ale fabric, 16 count, and so I have Martha done. So I need to get busy because I think that's so cute. And I think in a black frame, that would be like kind of a vintagey, scrolly kind of black frame would be really cool. And that's just with DMC 310 floss and Carriage Black, which actually it calls for a different color that I couldn't find. But I thought it was all DMC. But if these little frames around all the girls, can't point on camera. These little frames are all actually of a hand-dyed floss, and then all the girls are DMC 310. So I had just first gotten DMC 310. I thought, oh great, and then as I started, I'm like, oh no, I'm supposed to have another floss. So it just adds a little bit of interest to it. So it's cool. All right. So because I'm a teacher, I have been out of school for a long time. I mean, doing online school, but you still have a lot more time. So I've been getting a lot more than I normally do done. Normally I only stitch a little at nights because I'm so tired, and then on the weekends. But I've been getting a lot more done, so that's been nice. Now I'm feeling the pressure because we're getting ready to probably go back. And I'm like, oh, I should have finished more. Okay, next one is Halloween Quaker, which I was working on a ton during, I started this during, this was my first Mania start. And we'll talk about Mania in a minute. But I love this, but then I put it down and that was that. I haven't picked it back up again. I use these little bags like off of Amazon. They're like plastic. They have different color tops. They're really nice. They were really cheap. I am a quilter, obviously, and I have a pattern to make project bags, and I really want to, but I don't know why. I just never seem to be able to make myself get started with small projects. I'm always starting huge quilts, not finishing very many. So I haven't gotten to it yet. So hopefully before I have to go back to work, I will do it. Because if I don't before I go back to work, I probably won't ever do it. But anyway, cool. Quaker Halloween. So like I said, I just started stitching in October, and I thought, well, let me try Mania. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I just started pulling stuff out every day to do it. And I only lasted the first 5 days. I made first 5 new starts, and then I was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to work on these same ones and try to finish them. It's interesting. I found in quilting, I start everything. If you could see, this is my sewing room in here, and I must have 50 started quilts in boxes. Most of my quilting room is storage boxes for stuff I haven't finished. So I'm really, really bad about that. So I'm trying to get better about that. But in cross stitching, I'm seeing that I really don't like to have that much started. I like to finish more. So I kind of have one for each season, and then like an everyday or a sampler going, because it kind of stresses me out. I don't know. I like to work on the same one for a long time. So anyway, this was my first Mania start, Quaker Halloween by Lila's Studio, which I love. She has a lot of them I really like. I think it's so pretty. I think the model's done on Murky by Picture This Plus fabric, but I just had some brown or some gray hand dyed that I did myself. So that's it. And this is what I have done. And this one I struggle with. Since I started stitching in October, I had stitched in hand. Because that's the first video I watched. That's what they said to do. So that's what I did. Well, with this whole little design here, I must have ripped this part out so many times. This side, I'd started up here. I always seem to start on the top left. And I had ripped it out so many times. So I got a Q-snap frame for the first time for this one. And oh my gosh, I love the Q-snap frame, depending on what I'm doing. So if there's a lot of intricate counting and stitching, or I have to keep going in a certain shape, in a certain order, I really like the Q-snap. If I'm stitching, like filling in a lot, I like to do it in hand so I can just do the sewing method. So it just depends kind of on what it is. But that was the first one I've ever used a Q-snap on, and it was awesome. And see, now I'm getting better. I have my threads on rings. I worked this last 4 or 5 days this whole week on putting all my floss, that's my DMC floss, and some of my weeks on thread drops. I used a scrapbook, so I have a ton of dies. So I made this little tag for my dies, and I just put the like DMC numbers on it. But I thought I was done. I found a whole lot more DMC, so I'm not done yet. But I got a lot done this week, and I have a whole. I put it on my Instagram. On Instagram, and I'll put it in the description box below. But I'm C Wolf Quilter on Instagram, not Stitching is Elementary, because this is brand new. But I've been on Instagram for a while. So I have pictures of. We had an old coffee rack in the kitchen. I think it was from Pottery Barn. But the Ray Dunn mugs always seem to like don't not fit on their wear. Like we've broken a couple of them because they just kind of fall off. The rest of my family doesn't put them away right, and so they kind of fall off. So I had a different coffee cup storage unit kind of thing that I put in there, and then this one is perfect for my floss because it's got all the hooks. So you can go to my Instagram to see a picture. If I can figure out, I can put a picture in here, but I don't think I know how to do that yet. So anyway, yeah. So I'm getting better at storing my floss. But here is all the flosses. This pattern has so many cool Halloween colors in it. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so the next one I finished, not FFO, but finished. It was called Old Glory by Little House Needleworks. Once again, all these ones that I'm not currently working on, I don't have the pattern out, so I need to do the better next time. I did it on 28 count tea and coffee dyed Monaco. Just had an extra piece. I did it with all the DMC. This is the first one I've done all DMC. I love the hand dye flosses, but I thought this is so little, I should just save money and use the DMC. So I did this super quick. I started this on May 2nd and I finished on May 16th. I know it's really little, but I think that's the quickest I've ever done anything. It was right when we had just gotten out of school and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to sit and stitch. So this I was going to make into a pillow. So I was waiting to get some twill tape, which I got, but it was too small. I ordered some right here off of Amazon. I ordered both these off of Amazon. So this is the twill tape, but it was, so I'm going to dye it myself. So anyway, so it's just cream. But I ordered one that was a little too skinny. So I ordered an inch one now. So when that comes, I'll do it. So that's from Amazon, but I also got this off of Amazon, this whole big roll. And I have Rit dyes, and I also have a bunch of dyes Tim holds from when I did paper crafting, and they actually dye fabric really nicely. So I was going to dye that some red, and I have some blue fabric. I was going to make it into just like a little pillow. But then I did see a really cool frame the other day, so I had to come home and measure and see if this would fit. So not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Okay, and then the next one is another Halloween shocker. This was Mania start day 3. Old Glory was day 2. This one is Field Mouse Hollow. See, I have my extra threads in there. Move that so you can see. I'm sure you've all seen this before, but it's these 2 little mice, and oh my gosh, I love these mice. I have the sewing room one too, which I would love to do a bunch of sewing theme ones for behind me here. So yeah, so really, really cute pattern. And this is my favorite fabric that I've ever hand dyed myself. I hand dyed it aquamarine, but then I let it dry and I put it in a little bit of tan, and it kind of antiqued it, and it looks super cool. So that's what I have done. Now this is 18 count. Yeah, 18 count Ada. You can see the shoe's a little sparse. I did 1 strand because it's like 36 count linen. And the 1 strand is great on everything, but on the black, I've learned really 2 strands on 18 would be better. But it's got a vintagey look to it, so we'll leave it. I'm not going back over that. But anyway, I think that's so cute. I think I'm going to make this into a pillow when it's done, but we'll see. Long way to go there. And then here are the floss colors for that. Lots of pretty Halloween colors. And look at this, is such a mess. I don't know what's going on here. So when I was organizing my floss, I was measuring and figuring out how I want to count it all so that we didn't have this, because that I'm a little A-type and that really drives me crazy, but pretty flosses. So Field Mouse Hollow. So that was Mania number 3. Mania number 4 was, the Feels Like Home Mystery from the Fat Quarter Shop, which I kind of put down and have not picked back up again. But I don't want to show, yeah. So it's the Feels Like Home Mystery Stitch Along, which is done now. You can get the whole pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. I just barely started the house. Oops, it's all wrinkled. I got the bird done and I'm doing it in different colors. This is Picture This Plus, I think 16 count title. I love Picture This Plus. I've heard people say they don't like it because it's so loose. I love it because it's so loose. I don't know. It feels more linen-y to me. And, I would love to be able to do linen. So I got the bird and the leaves done and the little branch, and I'm working on the house. So we'll see when I get that done. And I just picked lots of earthly colors. They did it all in aquas and pinks and stuff. But my front door is this color. And this year we had a wren nest in the wreath on my front door. So we couldn't use our front door for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I thought I would make it kind of the colors of that. So I tried to make the little bird here the color of a South Carolina wren, house wren. South Carolina wren, house wren. I think those are 2 different varieties. Anyway, I'm not sure, but I know it was a wren. So I looked on Google and saw their colors, and I just tried to copy them. And then I'm going to make, this is my door color, and I'm going to make the house kind of look like ours. That's what I made. Because I had those 2, and I didn't have to buy anything new to do that. Okay, so that was day 4, and then day 5, which I said I only did 5 days. So this is my last Mania start, because then I just felt like I needed to work on everything else, but it's another Halloween. The threads. So this one is Bobbing for Pumpkins by Brenda Gervais. Also, I love Brenda Gervais. Maybe that's so you don't get a glare. There. I love this one. It's so cute. I need to get back to it. I had seen Priscilla and Chelsea on Stitching with the Housewives. They did this on like a wooden Halloween decoration they got from Michael's, which I already had. And I saw them like, oh, I never thought about putting a cross stitch on a wooden Halloween decoration. So the way she does things are so cute. So I have that one. I'm like, oh, I have to make that. So someday I will get this done and I will try to copy her, because it's really, really cute. But if you haven't watched Stitching with the Housewives, she does so many cool finishes that aren't like just getting it framed. I mean, I love getting them framed. I think that looks so classy, but it's expensive. And for little things like this, sometimes it's fun to just do something a little cuter. So, Bobbing for Pumpkins, right? Yeah, Bobbing for Pumpkins, Brenda Gervais. So this is on, I think this is Wren Picture This Plus. See the theme with the fabric I like? So it's not the called for. The called for, I don't even know, I can't see, I don't have the materials there. But yeah, so I just got a little bit of her dress done. And I really love the dress because it's got little, kind of almost like polka dots in it. Okay, so I paused it because my daughter came in. She was out from running. And my dogs, of course, started barking, even though they know her. All right, so this Bobbing with Pumpkins, there's kind of like little polka dots in the dress, which is kind of hard. Can't really see it. I have got to get better at showing things. Yes, indeed. There we go. So anyway, I got to get back to that because that one is super cute. But probably won't be done for this Halloween. And then these are the threads that go along with it. There. So pretty. Mostly all Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. And these are the called for threads. That was just not the called for fabric, but it was, you can see, something similar. I want to say it was a Weeks fabric. But yeah. All right, so that was it for my Mania starts, because then I was kind of freaking out. So I just continued to work on those in Mania. And then recently, Teresa Kogic came out with some patterns, I guess, that she donated the proceeds to certain shops with all the coronavirus and people being shut down. And so to help their shops, any of the proceeds she got from a bunch of these patterns, she, depending what pattern was, she donated those proceeds to a particular shop. So anyway, this one is, and I don't have a picture of it because it's just the chart. So it's United We Stand is what it's called, but I can show you what I have done. So it's these two girls and they have big long dresses that are going to come down here. So this one is taking longer. I think it's bigger than I thought it would be. I don't know. It's taken me longer than I thought it would, what I've gotten done so far. So got the whole top part done. It's not the call for colors. It was all call for DMC, and I just kind of put in some hand dyes that kind of, I pulled the DMC and then I just matched some hand dyes that went with it. So I stopped working on this yesterday to start my new one on the 4th of July, which I'll show here at the end. But it's super cute. I can't wait to get it done. So I'll keep working on that throughout July. And here are my totally messed up threads. Oh, well, this one's really a mess. Okay, so this is how I was doing the DMC. So here's my one DMC on these kind of thread jobs. The rest are just what they come on. So I think for her hair, I used Carriage Black. And then for this girl's skin, it's Eggshell. And this girl's skin is Cocoa. And then the light blue is Milady's Teal, which right now the light blue is just in the flag, but I'm gonna do her whole skirt in Milady's Teal. And I almost thought, ooh, is it too close to the background? This is supposed to be a gray, but it's a really, I hand dyed this one myself too. It's a really close, the gray blue. But I don't think it's showing up too bad. So hopefully that'll work. I'll get some more done, and then if I don't like it, I'll change it. But I think that'll be okay. I think it stands out enough. I got a mass thread and everything. So yeah, so those are the threads for that. This is a blacksmith blue. Classic Colorworks blacksmith blue is the dark blue. And then parchment is the United We Stand words and in the little girl's striped shirt. And then for the dresses, it's Turkish red, Weeks Dye Works Turkish red I used. And the darker red is cayenne. Can't say that word. It's like a burgundy color. And then for the blonde hair, I used flax. And like I said, I used Carriage Black for the darker hair. And then there's just some DMC white in there also. So those are the threads for that one. So that's actually a recent start. I started that on June 22nd. Yeah. So I should have more done, but I didn't. I worked on it quite a bit too. All right. I'm starting to get a big pile here, so I'm going to move it all over so it doesn't fall. Excuse me a sec. Okay. All right. What's next? All right, and then, I started a Mill Hill. I've never done a Mill Hill Bewitching Pumpkin Ornament because I want to have a Halloween tree. Like I said, I love Halloween, and I've had little Halloween trees, but I thought I'd get it like a black 4-foot or something with purple lights is what I'm hoping. And I'm going to make a bunch of Halloween ornaments. So that's what I plan on working on this month, some Halloween, some Christmas ornaments. But I lost it. I don't know where it is. I looked for it for this. I was just working on it recently, and I can't find it anywhere. So I will show you in the next video my Bewitching Pumpkin Ornament. So then the last thing I have that I just started, oh no, I lied. Oh, I have something I didn't write in my planner. Bad me. I started the Caterpillar cross stitch Positivity Rules. Let me see if I can find a picture that's not the chart. I don't think I do have one. Here just shows the colors that are used. It's a stitch along with Caterpillar cross stitch, which is I'm sorry for how I cannot show this right in the screen. I keep tilting everything weird. So Caterpillar cross stitch is a UK company. And so she apparently, they're new to me, but she apparently does a lot of stitch alongs. So this is called Positivity Rules. And actually, where's that other one I have? Sorry, the little needle minder for it she has is on this one. Let's see if I can get that so you can see it. kind of. Anyway, right there. It says Positivity Rules and it's a little rainbow. Really cute needle minder. Okay, so this, I got the first months done like way early, like 2 weeks early, and I never get anything done early. So I'm doing it on this hand-dyed pink, light pink I dyed myself. And that was the first part. And then up here, I just got the next part. It comes out on the 29th, or just a bunch. It's a lot of, what it is a house with a lot of positive words and stuff in it, or in the house. So what I thought, this isn't really my style for home, but like I said, I teach first grade. So I was going to make this when it's done, finish it off and make a wreath out of it for my front door, for the door of my classroom for when we go back. So yeah, I mean, that won't be right when we go back, but really, this is really fun because normally I don't do these kind of floss colors. So you'll see, ooh, I have a mess. I need to get one of those little boards to put the floss on. I use them for quilting, but I see now they've made smaller ones and you can just stick your floss on. So I need to make like a teeny one. You just make these out of foam core board. Lori Holt has a tutorial on YouTube how to make these. You can also buy them from the Fat Quarter Shop, but they're super easy to make, which is batting. This is batting. And then glue it onto foam core board, and then you make this little binding and just glue it around. So anyway, I need to make one of those so I don't have these all like this. So, but here are all the gorgeous, luscious colors of DMC floss that are for this one. So this is really fun because it's just, there's a couple cosmos stuck in there too. Just brighter colors than I normally work with. So yeah, so I think that'll be a wreath for my door, or maybe a pillow, but I think I'd rather keep it up away from little hands. So I think I'll probably make it into a wreath. And I haven't done that yet. And I used to have a wreath shop on Etsy where I sold wreaths. I've closed it for now. I don't know if I'll ever start it again. Kind of hard when you're working full time, or I found it hard. So anyway, okay, but that is Positivity Rules Stitch Along. Okay, and then I need to write that in my book because I didn't write it in there, which is why I forgot it. Okay, so for 4th of July start, I have had this pattern, Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Samplers, for quite a while. And I also have Goldtide Welcome. I don't have the Christmas one yet, but I saw Crosshatch Quilts. I think that's what she is on here on Floss Tube. I think her name's Christy. So her first video, I think she showed this and I was like, oh, wow, that's gorgeous. She does so many beautiful things and finishes them like big things. So I was a little nervous about doing this, but I started it yesterday and I'm really enjoying it. I've never done like a sampler style with these intricate borders, or what I consider intricate. But I'm really enjoying it. So Liberty's Welcome. I'm doing this on, this is a Picture This Plus Legacy. Picture This Plus Legacy. So I just started on page 1. I wasn't sure whether to start in the middle, but I always usually start in the top left. So I saw that the pattern is broken down to page 1, page 2. So I thought, well, I'll just start on page 1. And that's what I got done. And it's fun. I actually haven't had to rip out at all on this one yet. Knock on wood. I'm probably jinxing myself and now I'll mess up. But yeah. So I think, I don't know what color. Oh no, Ligonier Latte is what it's called for 36 count, which we know I don't do yet. I went to my eye doctor and got, like, I have astigmatism. So I've tried readers, and 2.5 readers work a little bit just for me to see Ada better in that. But all the other readers, I did not work at all. So I got prescription readers. So I'm hoping maybe I can see 36 and 40 count linen with the prescription readers. I just ordered some and I have to wait till it comes to see. So hopefully, but that is my beginning of Liberty's Welcome. And I would just like to have this done by next 4th of July. I'm not even sure if I will. It depends on how the school year goes once it starts. But yeah, so if I could get it done a year, that would be great. So now I got all the DMC. It calls for MPI silks, which I have yet to do silks, and I really don't want to try them because then I'm going to spend more money. So I got all the DMCs, and then the areas in the design that are bigger, I pulled some hand dyes that were similar so that I'll be able to see that variegation. So here's the threads. It was mostly the reds and, well, red and yellow and green that I pulled the different threads. So yeah, so some are Victorian Motto. I joined her Floss of the Month club, so I'm starting to get quite a bit of hers, and I really like them. Um, the green DMC I changed to English Ivy, which will be because that's the grass, so it's going to be a lot. The house, I'm going to actually, she has you doing it in this DMC 613, this taupe kind of creamy color. But I'm going to do it in whitewashed. It's a Weeks whitewashed. So I'm going to do your house white. And then I think I'll do the, see, and here the pillar. There's little pillars, which I don't know if you can see. You probably already all know this pattern anyway. But there's little pillars, and then the sashing the windows are in white. So since the house is going to be white, I think I'll probably do those in the color the house would have been. I'll have to see whenever I get to that point. But those are all the threads for that one. So pretty colors. So yeah, so I'm excited about that one. So that is the last thing I think I've started. Yeah, so that is everything I've done since I started stitching in October. My last one. Yeah, and it's Picture This Plus 16 count legacy. So this is going to be bigger. And I wrote all my changes down in there. And that's it. So hope this isn't going on too long. I'm just going to show you what I have plans for next. It is Jolly July through the Fat Quarter shop. She always does Christmas ornaments and that. And so, like I said, I love Christmas. I just, for some reason, don't make crafts as much for Christmas. So I need to make some Christmas quilts, and I need to do some Christmas stitching. So I found this one on Everything Cross Stitch. It's called Christmas Morning by Sandra Cozzolino. And I don't know, I just think it's so cute. I don't know what I'm going to stitch it on yet, but I want to start that this month before I head back to school. So Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I just think it's super cute. So that's one I plan on starting. And then last year for Jolly July, which I think I didn't start stitching then. So I don't know if I just bought these thinking I would start and I didn't start to October, or if I watched Kimberly's Jolly July videos later, but these are a lot of what she had started. So this is Heart and Hand, just Christmas cheer, Christmas ornament pack. So I got these from Fat Quarter Shop. So I would, obviously they're not even opened. I've never even opened them. I haven't even looked inside yet. So I would like to get some of those done. And then I just got this recently off of Mercari. It's Lizzie and Kate, and it's these little sleds. If that's how close you can see. There we go. Little sleds. We're talking the little mice. I have a thing for mice. They're so cute. So I'd like to start those. And then, because I love Halloween, I ordered these out of print cross stitch Halloween editions because there are a lot of cute, well, there's a lot of cute everything in here, but ornaments, Halloween ornaments for my Halloween tree that I want to have. So I got those two. So I'd like to start some ornaments out of there. And I really want to do this Java Girl Stitches did this one, and I love it. Welcome to our haunted home. Right behind me is our front door, and I have like a place where you hang your coats and that, and it'd be so cute above that. So this is a 2019 cross stitch special Halloween edition, 2019. And I know if you go to Annie's Crafts or something, I think you can get back issues there. And this is the 2012 edition. So I hope to start some of those. So I think that's pretty much it. Let me check my, oh, I was going to show you some quilt stuff. Sorry. If you don't care about quilting, you can go. I thought most people save quilting to the end. So I thought I would do that and just show you a little bit of what I've been working on. I have so many quilt projects, so this will change all the time. So I have started, I have a king size bed. I always get this idea that I want to have a quilt for every season, but a king size quilt is huge. And I am not a good quilter. I like piecing the quilts. And then my local quilt shop is called Tiny Stitches in Marietta. And so I started taking long arm quilting classes there with a lovely lady named Cheryl. She helps me a lot. Every time I go back, she has to help me because I forget how to do it. But so I've got a lot more quilts quilted now since I started doing that. because just quilting on my little sewing machine, I have a Bernina, it's a great old machine, and I had a Juki which stopped working, but that was great for machine quilting on until my two dogs, when we moved, and knocked it on the floor and broke it. So I've put it away for right now because I've tried to have it fixed a bunch of times and it hasn't worked. So it's just hard to quilt on my machine. So anyway, so I have a lot more done, but there's still, I have piles of finished quilts that I need to finish. So here I go, starting again. So all that to say, I thought I would do try Quilt as You Go. So I have both these books by Branda or Jera Brandvig. Sorry, I'm saying your name wrong. Quilt as You Go Made Modern and Quilt as You Go Made Vintage. And this is where, well, I'll show you. You kind of piece it and quilt it at the same time. So you see that's 2.5-inch strips just pieced on that batting. This is just batting. And so I've just sewed them on there, and then I'll quilt it. And then once all the blocks are quilted, I'll sew them all together, and the whole top will be quilted. And then I put backing on it and pin it all over. But then you only have to quilt on your machine like a grid in between the blocks to just secure it to the back of the quilt. So that's, if you don't know anything about quilting, that's more information than you need to know. But so this is a patriotic one. So I had 2 different kind of colorway blocks that I was working on. I am nowhere near done. So that will not be, obviously, since 4th of July has passed, for this year. But great books if you do want to do, this is great for beginning quilters, this Quilt as You Go, especially this one that I started. It's so easy. It's really so easy. So that's that. Sorry. Hoping every time I have to stop, I'm going to be able to piece these together, but I don't know. So anyway, for the Quilt as You Go patriotic quilt, these are all the blocks I have made. It takes like 81 blocks, so it's a lot. So a good start, but nowhere near done. Okay, and then also I belong to Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler quilty box we get every month, and this was one of the patterns that we got a few months ago, table runner. And so I made this, and I actually have it finished. So it's a table runner. I just changed the ends to be just a rectangle straight across. I think I can show this. So it's just a big, much bigger than the pattern, just a big rectangle. This is with go like this. There we go. Minnick and Simpson fabric. Mackinac Island is the line, and we got a charm pack and a special ruler, and you could and we made all these little hexagons. And then I did machine quilt this one myself. I tried to do a little more kind of fancy stuff here in the middle, not really fancy, but straight lines, but in a design, and then grid right here. So anyway, I really like how that came out. It looks real nice on my table. Okay, and then I've been working on some Halloween, of course. I don't need another Halloween quilt. There we go. I started this last year, Witch's Night Out. This was by It's So Emma, the Fat Quarter Shop, with the fig tree Halloween fabric. So I just finished this one recently. I have a bunch more of the pumpkins done, but I need to get back to that one. If I can find them. I don't know what I did with, hold on, I have a bunch more. And yeah, see, okay, so I have all these kind of bins with all my started quilts in it, and I must have 6 times 4, 32. I must have like 40 of them. It's crazy. So I have all these little pumpkins done, a bunch of those, and then these pumpkins done. So I think it's the first 3 patterns in the book. Let's see. So I love the witch hat. So cool. Yeah. So each, so this is the first pumpkin, second pumpkin. It just goes through, each page is a different, each couple pages is a different block. So yeah, so I love that quilt. We'll see if I get that done this year or not. But yeah, for storage, I just keep all my fabric, everything I need in these bins. And then I have not said anything about Blackbird, but I love Blackbird design. So I started this there's quilt a long time ago, The Raven by Blackbird Designs. Um, so I don't, I love the look of applique. I am not good at it. I get really frustrated doing applique. So I am doing it with a fusible applique and then top stitching around it. And that I can get done. So this is the first block that I have finished. I just love this. Oh, I want it done so bad for Halloween. And then this is the second block. I have fused down, but I don't have it stitched yet. So yeah, so I just had to order some thread to stitch around it that matched the colors in that. I didn't have any for that yellow color. So yeah, there are, let me show the finished quilt in here. I think there's 9, yeah. So there's 9 blocks with that house one in the middle. Oh, so I really need to get to work on this. I just love it. I think it's so cool. I love Blackbird Designs quilts and cross stitch. I have a bunch of their patterns, but I did not show any of that today. So anyway, so yeah, so that's what I've been working on in quilting. So I think that's it. I think that's long enough. So thank you for watching, and I'll probably post again in a couple weeks. Bye-bye. Happy stitching.